problem with gangs. Okay, if you're like me, you're interested in origin stories. You want to watch a documentary or some YouTube channel, and you want to hear, how did the Crips start? Who were the first Crips? How did the Crips evolve into these neighborhoods? The Bloods, how did they evolve? And when you listen to these stories, you always hear the same thing. A bunch of teenagers started the gang. And when those teenagers got 18, they went to prison. And yeah, and that's the problem with gangs. See, every gang was pretty much started by young people, very young people. Usually when a person turns 12, they join the gang or they become affiliated, and then eventually they become a full-fledged member. The problem with that is when you get in your 20s and 30s, you're still operating in a system that was created by teenagers. The system doesn't get modified when you get older. You're still doing the same thing, and you're still a part of the same network and system that you were a part of when you were 12. You're 30, and there's no next level. There's no, hey, okay, now that we're 30, we're doing this instead of that. It's like a bunch of teenagers created the gang, and that's as far as the foresight went. Nobody actually said, okay, eventually we're not going to be teenagers anymore. What do we do when we turn 25? So the gang banging thing, it stunts your growth. I feel like gangs are a reality. They're here. They're gonna be here forever. My whole thing is, why don't these gangs develop some sort of steps or some sort of evolution or some sort of next level where, hey, now that you're 25, you do this and you do that. But there is none of that. You join the gang at 12, and pretty much you do the same thing that you were doing at 12 when you turn 30. There's no promotion, there's no retirement, there's no next level, next step, next phase. And if you can look at that at all the gangs. Raymond Washington was like 15 when he started the Crips. Did you think? So basically, the Crips are following a system and an agenda that was created by a 16-year-old. Raymond Washington was killed in 79. I think he was like 26 years old. So, yeah, it's like, okay, so Raymond Washington started the Crips when he was 15. When the Crips became established, nobody actually stepped in and say, okay, guys, we're older now. We're in our 20s. We can't do this. We have to change it up. So that's the problem with gangs in my perspective. Gangs are started by kids. Kids join the gang. Then eventually they become men, but they don't actually evolve their gang activities. It doesn't correlate with their age. Peace.